Hello, hoteliers, and welcome to another episode of M3 Minutes. Today we have Christine Kennedy and Mo Darehshiri checking in with us from Atlific Hotels in Canada. So come join us on the couch. Well, we're so glad that you both could join us today, Mo and Christine. So tell us, how was the flight from Montreal?
It was quick and easy, and but a really large airport in Atlanta for sure.
I was just going to ask, what did you think of that Atlanta airport?
It's a labyrinth. It's taking 2 trains just to get to the car rental. It was quite an experience for sure.
It is. I always say to people, once you can navigate that, you can navigate pretty much anything. So now you've had that experience. You have survived the
We
Atlanta
have survived.
So let's get into this. So I'd like for you to briefly introduce yourself and tell us about your roles at Atlific and how long you've been there.
Perfect. Thanks, Veronica. So I'm Christine Kennedy. I'm the CEO of Atlific. I've been working at the company for about just a little over 17 years. I'm working with a tremendous leadership team, and we're really excited for the prospects of Atlific and just working in the Canadian hospitality space. Mo?
I'm Mo Darehshiri, and I've been with Atlific for just close to 11 years now in various roles. I'm currently the CFO of Atlific, working directly with the rest of the leadership team in growing Atlific across Canada.
Okay. Perfect. Now, these questions that we're going to ask, they can be for anyone. Feel free to jump in. I know that she's your boss, so,
Yeah. It's gonna, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Let her have the hard ones. You'll take the easy ones.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So tell me a little bit about Atlific Hotels as far as how many hotels you manage or own and, what types of hotels are these?
Yeah. We currently manage approximately 30 hotels from coast to coast. We work with all the major banners and several independent hotels, from select service to full service. So it's really a wide range of properties that we manage at the moment.
A wide range, and we have boutique hotels, we have full service, we have resort hotels. It's really a mix, which is one of the great things why people want to work with Atlific, because we do it all in the hospitality space.
And how many years have you all been in business?
We are celebrating our 65th anniversary this year.
Wow.
Yeah, company was founded in 1959. So in the early 60s, we started with, for our time, of course, we started introducing Canadians for the first time to the Holiday Inn brand. And from there, the company just took off, and we are currently owned by Ocean Properties and affiliates in the U.S., who've owned Atlific close to 3 decades now, and managed for more than 20 different ownership groups.
Okay. Now, I will say I did a little research on your website. I do love that timeline of the vintage photos.
Yeah, we have a great marketing team that put that together, and it's just a blast to the past to see some of those pictures.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's just a different world back then, especially, not going to lie, when you look at the fashion. That's just
Yeah.
a little scary.
well, fun though, depending on,
yes.
but
Yeah.
at the time when they lived in it, bell bottoms were cool.
They were cool.
And all the
Yeah.
very colorful suits and outfits that I saw a lot of people have, and the sideburns.
And the sideburns,
Yes.
definitely.
The shaggy hair.
I've seen pictures of my dad in that style, and I mean, quite interesting times for sure.
It is. So now, where are these properties located?
We really have across Canada. We start in Stephenville, Newfoundland, and we go all the way to Victoria, BC. We're working in 7 different provinces in Canada. So we're really, really across the board.
Gotcha. Perfect. So kind of switching hats a little bit, you're here at M3 today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a purpose behind that. And so what M3 products do you plan on using for Atlific Hotels?
All 3 products, from accounting core, insight, and labor productivity, we're looking to implement across our portfolio and benefit from its integration.
Perfect. So labor management, insight, and then, of course, our core, M3
Yeah.
accounting core.
The accounting part, not to be forgotten.
Yes, no, of course. I mean, who? Absolutely, absolutely. So, thinking about accounting core, what prompted the search for a new accounting solution?
So I think we have our own in-house proprietary system that was developed back in 1959 practically, and it has served us really well. But I think we really were looking for a third-party provider in a M3 to help us automate, and so that we can really focus on what we do best and not have to slice and dice the information in our current system to meet our ownership needs.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Christine. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the challenges that you were facing with your previous solution?
I think more and more with the fact that we're dealing with 20 different ownership groups, they're all wanting to see something a little bit different from the financial statements or just the business needs of the hotel. So we found that we were spending so much time manually manipulating the data to produce the reports that was relevant for a particular ownership group. So we're really looking to M3 to help us automate and make that process much smoother and save time so we can focus on our employees and our guest experience.
Gotcha. So that seems like a very good point, saving time instead of doing it manually.
Yes.
Operating.
Giving more time back to our general managers, our hotel executive teams to really focus on the building, on the guest experience, on the associates.
Do you feel like those are some of the challenges that maybe your operations and accounting teams are facing today?
Definitely. If I start with operations, of course, labor continues to be a challenge in Canada, as I'm sure you guys are experiencing in the U.S. as well, both on the staff level and managerial level. COVID really changed that dynamic. So we're seeing turnover that we've never seen before in our industry. So, in some areas, we've had to look at temporary foreign workers to fill the gap. So obviously, having a robust solution to help us with the labor component being one of the main expenses in the hotel, so it's going to help drive profitability and help our general managers make better decisions, just in time instead of waiting at month end for financial information.
And I think it'll be giving the tools to the people on property to really help make better decisions to the bottom line.
Absolutely. Thinking ahead, kind of preparing for that. Yeah. You've got your plan A, but then when that falls through, like Murphy's Law happens,
Exactly.
we just talked about this morning.
How do we pivot? How do we deal with that, right?
Exactly. But then, business has to continue going. So how do you pivot, but still continue to maintain that excellent customer service?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So it does sound a lot like you're really thinking about your people in the hotel space, like your workers there, very boots on the ground, oriented. And so I was looking at your website and I really appreciated that you had your values on there. So those are integrity, respect, loyalty, and family. Some similar to some of we have that M3, but I'd love to learn a little bit more. How do you trickle that kind of down into, someone who's not in the corporate office?
I think it really flows naturally, and I think one of the really exciting things that I see working at Atlific is that the nature of, because basically we're a third-party management company. So we have hotels that come on board. We have hotels for whatever reasons owners are selling. We say goodbye to those hotels. But the people who are working on property always want to have a connection to come back to Atlific. We have multiple instances where we have employees who, by virtue of the sale of the hotel, have left our portfolio, but they seek an opportunity to come back to work with us because of the loyalty, respect, family. It's really amazing to see how much they value working with the team at Atlific.
Wow, that's wonderful. Absolutely. And so when you're thinking about your teammates and the people who are also within the hotel, what prompted you to, first learn about M3?
Yeah, well, for us, obviously, solving the accounting system was one of the core issues here, but we were really looking at this from an ERP solution. We were really looking at looking at all the various stakeholders, whether it's our associates, our general managers, our owners, our leadership team. What are the tools that they need to operate the hotels? What are the tools they need to make sure we maximize profitability for our owners, make sure everything is flowing properly? So we looked at this more holistically than just having a back office accounting solution. And when in an era where it's harder and harder to find a system that checks off all the boxes, we felt M3 is really has kind of solved for a lot of that, where the information flows from your PMS into accounting, and then from there to Insight, where it's there for all the various stakeholders to use and use on a regular basis, than having to wait for a report to come from head office or a report to go to an owner. So we're really excited about that's what really prompted us to look at M3.
So it's kind of that full platform.
Definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
From coupling with accounting core to Insight and then labor management, it was a package all in one.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you told me a lot of little things, and I'm hearing that it was our platform that sold you, but was there anything that really stuck out to you about M3, the biggest deciding factor?
Yeah, so I think one of the key, we looked at several systems. We looked at other, both inside and outside the space, but really the fact that this system was born in the hospitality industry for us was the final decision, because and as we're going through the implementation process right now, it's quite evident that M3 team truly understands the unique needs of the hospitality space, and it really makes it easy to understand the platform as it is now. But also, they've been very receptive and open to obviously a unique need of a company like Atlific with more than 20 ownership groups, and our need for different kind of reporting, customized tools. So that was very important to us.
So tell us about the Canadian marketplace. M3 is a U.S.-based company, but I'd love to know how is that different from East Coast to West Coast in Canada? And then how does that affect your market?
So it's in Canada, it's very different as we move from the east to the west, and each province within Canada is almost like a different country. There are different rules and regulations that we need to be aware of, and I think M3 can help us in terms of navigating some of those reporting and filings. So it's very important that the system is flexible to the needs that we see day in, day out.
Yeah. Absolutely, because it's very unique. Sometimes we joke and we say it's like living in 10 different countries for the 10 different provinces and the 3 territories that we. So that the need for that understanding and customization of some of the varied reporting will be key, and that's the value of Atlific. We were born in Canada. We fully understand how to operate for our owners in these various provinces.
How do union hotels impact management positions?
We have several unionized hotels, and for those hotels, it's a reality of everyday life for our general managers, the executive team. They work tirelessly with the unions to, for the common goal of taking care of our associates, and they have all the resources at Atlific working directly with the Atlific leadership team, and we've developed and fostered relationships with various industrial relations experts from outside of Atlific that support them to make sure that we navigate the challenges of running a unionized hotel.
Right. So I think clearly in a union environment, there are specific rules. The goal is to make sure that the associates are taken care of. And so we work with the on-property staff to make sure that we're meeting those expectations, surpassing that. So even if it's not a unionized environment, we take that same duty of care, level of care, to make sure that the associates are being treated well.
And again, going back to your values.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So this is kind of a question for both of you.
Yeah.
What is the number one issue facing the hotelier in Canada? What do you feel?
I think right now the cost of debt is really affecting all aspects of the business. It's affecting the owner, obviously with profitability. So it's putting that extra pressure on operations to have a profitable business for the owner. So it's really affecting us greatly right now. And I have to say, Mother Nature has been quite difficult the last year. I'm sure you guys heard about the wildfires that really hit Canada hard last summer. So that unfortunately really had an impact on some of our properties in those pockets of the country. And then you take that all the way to this winter where, some of our resort hotels are really hit by a lack of snow. That's, affecting business. So lots going on right now.
Right. So I think it's just not, status quo. In the past, there was a seasonal aspect perhaps to some of our hotels. But, as Mo mentioned, interest rates and debt service has been difficult for some of our ownerships. Other ownership groups have deep pockets and they'll just simply pay off the debt. But inflation and cost of living, labor rates, it's all something that we need to navigate to make sure that we're still very profitable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So switching our hats again, thinking a little bit more back to the business side and staying in that realm, what are your main operational and financial goals that M3 will help you achieve?
I think obviously with the solution in place for both our accounting and finance team and our operations team, our hope is to really give everybody time back where they were spending time away from the core business, making manual reports, preparing documents for owners. We'll be able to give them time back. So that for us, it's naturally will elevate the business because they'll be able to spend time more in that area. And then obviously the exciting part for us is the integration between the PMS and M3, and then ultimately wrapped around with labor management will really give us more accurate revenue projections, will give us the ability to project our expenses better, and bottom line, increase profitability for our owners. So we're really looking at it as a tool to drive profitability for our owners.
And I think everybody will be on property in the corporate office having information in a more timely fashion to make actual decisions that will impact immediately. I think that's pretty exciting.
Absolutely.
Well, I think you guys just answered my next question. So I appreciate that. We jumped ahead. But, from what I heard, it sounds like you really want to give that time back to the people who are running the show,
right?
Like the boots on the ground who are behind that
counter. And Christine mentioned, you have general managers who were waiting on a financial report at the end of the month. Now they'll be able to really look at a snapshot of a few days, a couple of days, and really change course if need be throughout the month, which would make a considerable financial difference at the end of the month.
Absolutely. And it's for the greater impact for not just the GM, but the people who are, within that space as well.
Right.
If he or she needs to allocate more hours or less, and he can make those decisions quicker than waiting until the last day and you're scrambling at the end of the month. That's right. Absolutely. So what are your thoughts on switching from a physical check to e-pay?
We're excited about that. I mean,
that would be good.
I think we've only talked about this for probably 10 years. So it's definitely one of our goals, all jokes aside. And we're looking at this because we believe switching to e-pay will significantly make our processes more efficient. It will give us obviously reduce costs as well. There's a significant cost involved with manual checks, and not to mention payment security will be enhanced as a result. So it's one of our objectives as we move forward with M3.
Okay. I agree with you, Mo, and I think just the process of churning out all those checks on a weekly basis, I think that will be just a tremendous relief and savings of time. Again, we keep talking about savings of time, but also the security aspect. Things are, the bad actors out there are making it increasingly difficult, and any way that we can secure payment is a great thing.
Absolutely. So, kind of leading into our next section, you're thinking about the future.
Definitely.
The future
Always.
of Atlific. Absolutely. So, what are Atliffic's hotel long-term growth plans?
Well, we're really excited. I think we're stepping into a new phase. Our ownership group, who they are U.S. based, are really excited about the Canadian market space. We're really actively searching with our leadership group. Different of our owners are looking to expand actively right now, and we really believe that the future is bright, and we are really looking to grow within the Canadian market space.
So again, thinking about the future, are there any upcoming features or developments from M3 that you're particularly excited about for the future?
I think Insight is really going to drive a lot of our needs from a system point of view. It really provides that dashboard, that view that our various stakeholders will need, whether it's an owner, whether it's a hotel general manager, whether it's the Atlific leadership team. So we're really looking at the current and future features of Insight. I know we've already expressed our excitement about what it could have in the future as well, and we really appreciate that the M3 team has been very receptive to listening to some of the processes and features that we currently have, which may be manual, and how we can move that into a more robust reporting solution into Insight.
Right, because I think one of the key factors in us selecting M3 is having the trust that M3 will partner with us to make the changes that we need to be successful. And I think we've seen, and Mo has been instrumental in moving this project along, and I think we see the ability and the willingness to work with us so that we are both successful.
Well, wonderful. It's been absolutely a joy to have both of you on the show today, and thank you so much for your time. Any sage words of wisdom you want to leave us with?
I just think it's a tremendous opportunity. We have a very talented team here at the M3 offices. We're very excited to move this project forward, and great space, great people, and we're really looking forward to a bright future together.
Yeah. That's I couldn't add more. So thank you for your time today and the hospitality, and we look forward to that partnership.
Well, we thank you as well, and for putting your trust in us, and we look forward to the future together.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So,
thank you.
Thank you,
so
Christine.
much.
Thank you, Mo.
Thank you, Veronica.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of M3 Minutes. Today, we took a glimpse into the Canadian hotel industry with Atlific Hotels. With M3's platform, they will now have access to real-time data to drive profitability and to make decisions in a timely manner. If you enjoyed this episode, head on back to the lobby and hit that subscribe button. Until next time, hoteliers.